Comfrey, the Comfrey. Tomato. Hmm. Alright. Take a second. Not too chewy. It's hairy. It's in the Boraginaceae family, the borage family, or borage, or whatever you say. They get hairs on them. The whole family are hairy. So it's kind of scratchy, not really. Pretty soft. It depends what you're using it for. These flowers, they get the really nice little nautilus spiral, Fibonacci or some such. These are a nice little purple variety we got a lot of here. I like to eat the flowers. That's one of my favorite ways to eat this plant. And I don't eat much of it. I don't use it very often. But that is nice. It's mucilaginous, coating to the throat. It's good to have some good greens and fresh flowers. Who doesn't love fresh flowers? This plant and all these actually have gotten a bit of this white, looks like kind of a mildew on them. I thought I'd found one that didn't, but there it is. That patch is kind of covered in the horsetails. I'm going to show you some others. And clear those out. These are two of our big weeds that we gotta pull out. It's one of those a lot of people would consider it a weed. It's actually a really helpful medicine. It's debatable. Check it out. We get these big old clumps and they kind of sprawl out from a central point. And they kind of just lay and fall and everything. And all these, they'll get all overgrown on the borders. So it's one of those things when I get back and start pulling weeds is that I clear these back a lot. And you can pull them off back to the ground. You are not going to hurt this plant whatsoever. You can propagate this. You just break up pieces of roots and you put them wherever, they become a whole new plant. Greenlight likes to tell about how he put some roots, but chunks of inner root that he skinned, and he put them in a jar and he left them in a fridge, no light, for like 6 months or a year or something, and came back and they had sprouted in the jar from the inner core in the jar in the fridge. No light, no air, no water, whatever. This plant wants to sprout and it wants to grow. I'm pretty sure it grows everywhere in the US. Yeah, these bees are all about it. That other one was loaded with them. So it's a great one for the pollinators. Pollinators are really, really into this plant. So one good reason to have it in a garden. And it also helps improve soil quality wherever it grows. Just by growing there, the soil will get better. How exactly it does that, I don't know, but people like to do it for that, and as kind of a companion plant, makes good borders. You can see in here, I've just kind of tossed these leaves down. I came back and Mystic was happening and music was happening, and I just had to come kind of loosen up You know, some of these other plants that were getting squashed, the lavenders and the lemon balms and the little stuff. This comfrey just gets big and it falls on it, but it's nice in that it's a pretty good one. You can kind of do that with the leaves. A lot of things you don't want to leave the fresh. You want to dry them out and put them back in as mulch. Comfrey's a lot better about that, and actually one that a lot of people do they even before you even start your garden, get your compost going, get this going to feed your compost. You can pick these leaves and put them in, and they just kind of dry up here on the ground, but when you mix them in with the compost, they'll make this black kind of sludge weirdness, and everything breaks down way faster. So some people use it just for that. It'd be a really good one if you're gonna have a compost. You plant the comfrey, and I'd say alfalfa and a few others around it, and then you're ready to have that top layer. Throw it on there to help break stuff down better and faster and all that, and it's going to be putting good nutrients into your compost, into your soil. It's pretty rocking like that. And even, you know, you can do it as a border around fruit trees and stuff, and you can just pull it off and mulch it, but it's going to make the soil better just for growing. So it's nice to have in your garden. Although here it does tend to, you know, it breaks off and it spills out everywhere and lays on everything. And but you can see, you know, these. So those flowers are done. They opened up and whatever, they did their thing. I'm just gonna show you this real quick, how easy this is. You just take them by the handful and pull them out. I got a little top of the root there. They come out pretty easy, and then you can make bundles. And kind of just grab them a handful at a time like that, just break them off. It's like most anything when you're gonna be pulling the weeds. Get down on the knees, get all up in it. And this is just this huge sprawling plant that just has this little cluster in the middle, so you just kind of grab on in the middle there and pull off some of those old dead ones, and then it's already got little shoots ready coming back in here, so it's gonna shoot back out. And a lot of times, you know, if you can get on it, and especially stay on it when it's earlier, when they've just been flowering, and then hopefully get more flowers out of it that year, it's just gonna keep growing. You're not gonna hurt it if you pull out some roots, whatever. The roots they get kind of hollow and weird at the tops, and they're one that actually spiders are really into. They'll live in there and they'll stay warm over winter, and so then in springtime when the other bugs are coming out, then the spiders are already there waiting, which is cool if you're building healthy ecosystems. Spiders to eat your unfriendly bugs, or whatever, the bugs are going to eat your food. They are cool to have. So it's a cool few things just in the garden as a plant that it does. It's nice, and you know, it's a little scratchy, especially when you pull it, but not really. It's like almost, it's kind of, no, my beard's way softer. Who am I kidding? So yeah, it's called bone set. Often is the whatever folk name or the common name. It's one, you can take these leaves, they make these big old leaves. You can take these and wrap things, make kind of like a compress, I guess. And yeah, it helps the bones to heal. I feel like if you're using the root and stuff as well, I feel like that's part of its thing. And I was definitely dreaming about it when I broke my ankle off, and I was sitting around knowing there were plants to help heal it, and I just didn't know. This one, this was one of them for sure. I was buying all kinds of expensive stuff. It's nice when your medicine will come free. Painful, I had to. But hey, it might help you remember it. Comfrey, wonderful. There's a lot of people um, say that there's liver toxicity associated with it, and so it's not one to be used regularly. But if you do need to mend a broken bone, still be careful. People will say there's different ways to harvest, different times, different varieties, all that, all the different factors, so you can get some comfrey that's not toxic to you. I don't know much about it. Every now and then I just kind of munch some flowers and thought I'd give you a little introduction. It's one of our crazy weeds out here that is cool medicine, but it's a bit of both. It takes over, and when it tries to take over, then it's a bit of a weed, and don't feel shy if you're pulling weeds out here. Should I even, well, yeah, it's generally high in potassium, phytochemicals including allantoin, mucilage, definitely mucilaginous, saponins, tannins, pyrrolizidine, alkaloid inulins, proteins, etc. Got all that stuff into. Who knew? In some cultures was used for exorcism, to repel ghosts, to keep away unfriendly spirits and menstruating girls. Apparently I don't remember who that was that does that, but I think some culture uses it to attract deer when they're hunting. So just a little slice of folklore-ish info there, and I think we did it.